Liberty sleeve, I vowed to always do the sleeves. So I've done every sleeve since. I sit down with a design company and bring the sketchbook in and say, can we make it like this? Can we do this? Can we do this? And it usually gets credited to whoever at the design team I sit down with. They usually end up with the credit, but I've done every one since Statue of Liberty.
What about in terms of the song compilation? Are you completely behind that as well, or did somebody else?
Yeah, largely. What usually happens is, that's one thing I'm quite good at doing. I can't drive and I can't swim, and my eyesight's appalling, but I'm pretty decent at putting together album compilations. I suppose I was really good with my cassette machine as a youngster, my tape machine and the radio. I just knew what song should follow what or whatever. But I mean, this one speaks for itself because it's chronological. So this one wasn't, it made itself. But otherwise, I try and do the orders to the albums to try and make to put the meal in the correct order.
Were you just selecting singles, or were they other songs or unissued?
No, they're all on this collection. It's all singles. It's all 31 singles, including special recorded American releases. So they're all singles, which it leaves me in an awkward position because I'm actually much prouder of the stuff on the albums. I'm not unproud of the singles, but because they're singles, the very nature of them tends to be they're immediate. And with immediate music, you get into it very quickly, but you can also get out of it very quickly because of the nature of it. It doesn't have that much substance. So I think eventually I'm eminently much more proud of stuff on the albums than I am of singles. Well, that's not to say I'm not proud of them. Some of them I'm very proud of, but just generally the nature of singles is it's sort of like eating porridge. It goes down very quickly and out very quickly.
And I guess also a sequence of singles doesn't really generate the same sort of energy a sequence of album cuts does.
No, it's a different thing. Yeah. It's a much different thing.
This guy here notes that the first one, "Wait Till Your Boat Goes Down," is apparently a song that you never really liked, or that's what XTC experts tell him.
No, I was very proud of that for some years. I don't know where he got hold of that idea. It was he may be confusing Sergeant Rocky's Gonna Help Me, which I really wasn't that proud of. Because it was one of those banal, instantaneous kind of throwaway things that you kind of think people are going to pass over and smile about and forget about. And, of course, it gets pulled out as a single. And before you know it, you're getting sacks of hate mail from feminists who also don't have a sense of humor. No, I'm not too proud of that. But I was quite proud of Wait Till Your Boat Goes Down. For me, it was a reasonable melodic leap at the time. But it's not... I'm eminently much prouder of things like Wrapped in Grey, which I think was deleted after about 2,000 copies had been pressed up, and so that was the final straw that put us on strike.
Really, it's on the Japanese copy that I have.
Right, yeah, that was as a single in England, and was immediately deleted before, I think they pressed up about 2,000, and I was really enraged that they should even bother to put out a single which they were smothering in the cot,
But why would they delete something? I don't understand.
I don't know. Maybe they just got cold feet and thought nobody was going to buy this because it was too convoluted and too gentle or something. And as I said, they really killed it in the crib, so that made me very angry. But I'm trying to think of what would be the proud... I'm really proud of about half of these singles.
Like which ones in particular?
I think the later stuff. The earlier stuff, as I say, it's too different a person. The early stuff has the good thing about the early stuff is it has that kind of gauche youth energy, which a lot of bands when they're starting out have that, and is kind of endearing. It's like naive art or something. They can't do any better. That's what they think. That's as far as they've got, if you see what I mean. And I think our stuff has that, it has that naive, nerdy kind of energy, because we didn't know any better. We thought we were at that stage where you thought we were hot buttered toast, But you grow and you change, and you're cursed with wisdom. Mm-hmm. And I'm an incredibly different person now to the person that did anything on white music or go-to or drums and wires. Very different person.
Mm-hmm. Did you consider the idea of releasing a lot of unreleased material, like rare tracks and whatnot, somewhat along the lines of drums and wire?
Well, they're going to part of our leasing agreement is I'm sure that they're going to do another barrel scraping exercise. But one thing that was quite interesting in this forthcoming, they're going to do at least one other compilation, part of the price of letting us go. And I've suggested doing. We have all the demos to the Non-Such album, and I suggested putting them all out, but in the same order. So there would be a demo album of Non-Such, all the same tracks in the same order. That might be interesting. Certainly interesting for anyone who likes the band, because they can see how the things have grown or where they came from or whatever. So that's kind of interesting, but I am generally wary of barrel scraping exercises, but it looks like we have our arm twisted up behind our back on this one.
And do they assume responsibility for the back catalog, or does that get...
Oh, yeah, they have that forever. Mm-hmm. So I shall never own the copyrights or the rights to any of those songs forevermore. Amen.
But,
I think the words are perpetuity in the universe. It's that sort of wording.
But wait, your name is still on them, and you still get royalties, right?
Yeah, but you can't do anything with them. You can't sell them on or whatever. And the royalties are a pittance. I mean, a pittance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You've worked with a lot of producers over these. I guess Gus Dudgeon was the last one you worked with, right?
Yeah, he was a sort of an accident. Mm-hmm. We were due to work again with Steve Lillywhite, but he was having marital problems and was instructed to go on holiday the day he should have started the album, and we felt very upset. Mm-hmm. We had the studio time booked, and we only had Dave Mattox for a certain window of time before he went out on tour with Jethro Tull, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I panicked and said, oh, God, who are we going to get? Because we could produce it ourselves, but I think there's a certain... It's difficult to be the ringmaster and the performer. It's difficult to... You have to put one head on or the other. Mm-hmm. And I think Colin and Dave probably resent me saying things like, are you a little out of tune? Or you can do better than that. From a contemporary, it's tough. Mm-hmm. And from their mate, it's tough. Mm-hmm. Like it's some sort of a criticism that has no value. It's just a criticism or something. So we have to have a ringmaster, really. And Steve Lillywhite was instructed to go on holiday with his failing marriage wife at the time, Kirsty MacColl. And somebody said, oh, Gus Dudgeon's free. And I thought, Gus Dudgeon, what did he do? Elton John and the Bonzo Dog Band. Yeah, he'll do. And so it was a case of muddling through with funny old Gus, who is very much the old school of producer, and he's a real old faker. And
I thought he was sort of a crack producer, but didn't he do like some of the Police's groundbreaking work? And
no, that wasn't Gus Dudgeon. He didn't do the Police. That you're thinking of Hugh Padgham.
Oh, Hugh Padgham. Okay, right.
Yep. No, Gus Dudgeon did. I think Elton John was his finest hour. But he didn't even last with him. I think Elton dropped him after a while.
And the Bonzo Dog Band.
And the Bonzo Dog Band, there you go. Which I value eminently more than I do Elton John.
Okay. Well, that clears that up. So are we to assume that Steve Lillywhite is your favorite producer then out of all the...
No, I don't. No, I felt really hurt about the fact that he sort of dumped the band at the last minute. I mean, admittedly, it was to try and save his marriage, but... we'll literally work with anyone. I don't have a favorite producer. They all have different qualities because they're different people. Different people have different qualities. John Leckie is very amiable and can draw a performance out of you, but he is very naive musically, so he couldn't tell you whether a certain chord voicing would be wrong, or he couldn't tell you whether you were, not didn't have the right